Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. This is a great opening rack. I think there's a bingo here. I think Milders is good. It may not be. Let's find out. It's not good. So, do I think it's good because there's an anagram of it? Dismaler through an A, probably quite a few 8s through the right floater. But is there a 7? I've got the ism ending. Got the re beginning. Well, it's not coming to me. So I'm inclined to just play, well, mild or milder. I'm thinking mild. A better rack leave gives less away. So mild for 14. Okay, I think I have rousers, but that could be another agent noun issue, as with milders. But rousers is good, I'm sure. And milds is good. So at the moment I can play that in column 11. Wait until your player's validated OK. I'm pretty sure that was validated as not good. Yeah, invalid words. So what else do I have with this rack? I have more shores through the M. Do I have something through the I? Can't see anything. What about the L? No. What about the D? Not seeing anything. So at the moment I've just got more shores in column 7 and rousers in column 11. I suspect there are some other 8s with other floaters. I'm still trying to record enough games to maintain my recording schedule while I'm away in Malaysia and Thailand. I think I have another 2 to record after this. Great. Rousers is available, and it's available as a double-double. Fantastic. Rousers takes a T in front. Does rousers have an anagram? I don't think sourers is good. I'm going with this. Just wondering if I have a double-double through the Y, and I don't think I do. Great. It's good. Fantastic. So, what do I have now? F and P don't go great together, but this doesn't look too far away from a bingo. And look at this, the A of Yar and the O of Roosters both work for my P or my F. So I have FAP in both spots. I have a T for trousers. Now it would be good to play off the... Wow, great response from my opponent. He's only 6 points behind now. Yar takes an A in front. Row H, quite hot. Although I'm not seeing a 5-letter play involving the F and the P. I've got frat I. 32 points. What I was thinking about was playing frat for 30 points. Quite a good rack leave. Yep, I'm going with this. And I'm keeping the T for trousers. Okay, not too bad, but slightly plagued with duplicates. So I don't think there's a 7 here. Although there could be. I've got the try prefix. Wow, 49 points for my opponent. I'm now trailing by 13. Do I have a play which gets the C doubled and makes trousers? Can't see such a play. And what are the floaters? Well, there's the L. Tyrical, not good. I think it's turrical. Close to craftier. I've got the IC ending. Okay, so I think I'm going to give up on a bingo. Way doesn't take anything after it that I've got. Nothing goes in front of Opa apart from a D, which I don't have. There's a floating O in Rousers. Okay, so this is a tricky rack. Nothing goes after Woks. I can't see any INC words. Vintners is the V of Vintners is preventing parallel plays. I don't have anything which goes on this triple letter square, or no scoring tiles which go there. So what about playing Arctic? I don't think this is a good enough rack to really try and go out of my way to preserve. Only 22 points, but I am behind, and this is keeping the board open, or opening the board rather. Okay, a lot of vowels, slightly too many. And no scoring tiles. I'm delighted to be playing against Noah once more. We had a very good battle in a recent game. He's a North American schools champion. Wow, look at that, 42 points. So he's piling on the pressure. I now trail by 30, and I've got a pretty hopeless rack. So how to sort it out? I'm tempted to play Eve. $14 points. And I think I do need to do something like playing off 3 vowels, but is there a better spot? 14 minutes on my clock. I think I noted before that Noah plays quite quickly, so I must be mindful not to get into time trouble. Well, I'm not sure this is such a great rack to keep, and in any event Eve takes tiles in front, so what about playing Levia? Opening the board up a bit more with these with the floating E and R. 22 points. Is there something better? What about playing Neale? Neale? 15 points. That's not better. I need to look around at the scoring tiles on the board. Not many of those are available. I guess the C is. I'm going with Levia. And I draw 3 O's and a U. I do have the P as a scoring tile. So I could play Pod, but I'd like to play off more of my vowels. So I could just play Pool. 18 points. Now, what about Unpool? I don't think that's good. I think it's just Unspool. Do I have anything down through the C? Nothing that immediately strikes me. I guess I've got Poco, which isn't too bad. It's opening up a new bingo lane in column 14. Levia has opened up bingo lanes, but I don't want my opponent to to close down all the lanes on the board. So while I'm behind, I'm alive to keeping the board open. Now Pox is good, but it takes nothing in front, so Pox isn't going to open up row B. Great. Opponent provides new floaters, which is fine. So I'm thinking about playing Poco. Horrible rack leave and only 16 points. It would be good to play off one more vowel. Can I do that? I don't really want to take out any of the floaters in Untame. Pool uses the same tiles. I've got the up prefix. Well, only one U to come, so this hopefully isn't a complete disaster, and only 2 O's. So Poco for 16. Well, that's looking a little better, and I've got the J, which is a good scoring tile, but is there a good spot for it? I have Dural in column 10, which will score over 30. It would be nice if I had a play in row B, but I don't think I do, with the J tripled and the play doubled. I don't think I have a bingo with this rack. And I trail by 19 points with my opponent on turn. Opponent goes in my Dural spot. Now I can get my J doubled at the bottom with Taj or Jut. About 39 points, which is good. Now, do I have a play with the J on this next to the O? It would have to be JOD. That's not looking promising. So I don't think I do. That's a shame. Well, opponent's play of I has opened up a new bingo lane in row B, and I've got the bingo lane in column 14, so maybe I can play down here without it being a bad thing. And I'm thinking about playing Joe rather than Jut, just to preserve the vowel consonant balance. There's only one U out there. There's still the Q to come. So Joe for 41. Can I do better than that? Joe would play off one fewer vowel and only score 30, so this is better than that. And Joe would also take out row B. So I'm going with this. Great, I draw the Q onto an E. I would have quotable. No E's available. But I should have a few options here in terms of the Q. So I've got qua. But I still haven't seen anywhere. Great, only 12 points for my opponent. He leads by 11. Where can I play my Q? I'm wondering if I've got a QUA play across here, which isn't just QUA. Although, what about this? Supposing I do play QUA, I've got an A for making aqua. There's only 2 A's in the bag and 1 blank out of 34 unseen tiles. And that's not a bad 5-letter set. And if my opponent doesn't have an A, he could easily have an I, and he may get a very low score trying to block that. I think he's likely to think that I may have an A. Slightly volatile move, because clearly if my opponent does have an A, he can score quite well there. However, look at this. If I draw an I and an N, and there are a ton of those left, I've got bloating in row A. So I'm going to go with this. I draw an N, but not an I. I draw another O. Just waiting for my opponent to put an A in front of Qua. I can't see anything through the G. I've got bloat, if nothing else, in column 1. Not a massively scoring word. Okay, great. That remains available. Should I use it straight away? I trail by 10, so I think probably yes. So what do I have? Is there any way of getting the B doubled? Don't think so. So is it really just bloat? 34 points, quite good. It's the final O, which isn't bad, but look at this, there are a ton of N's to come. O-double-N, not a really good sight on my rack. 8 minutes on my clock. Can I do better? It would be nice to play off 6 tiles. Bigger score. But I'm not seeing an alternative to bloat. And are there any floaters for bingos that I've overlooked? Can't see anything with the G or the U. I think I do need to take this out, and I am going to play bloat. Well, I draw one N, but it's not too bad. Through an R, I would have onliners. Now, I have got IN for an ING word. But do I have such a play? Just 3 points between us. So, really close game. Do I have a play in row A? Don't think so. Just looking at these pairs by Untame. Can't see anything there. Do I have a 7 with this rack? Through an A, I would have Solar 9. 7 at a bingo lane in column 14. If I had such a play, it may well go. Not seeing it, and I've got no scoring tiles, but really, really close. I think I'll hang on to IN. Just looking again at OM, in case I've got a bingo through that. Don't think so. 6 minutes on my clock, so I can't hang around. So I could just play ON down here. 16 points, keeping a pretty good 5-letter set, and not just for ING, but just in general, that's a good 5-letter set. This is not a rack which is worth wrecking. And on is creating a new bingo lane. So yeah, I'm going with this. Okay, I have Scaleni, which plays in columns 13 and 14. Do I have a play in row A? That doesn't look likely. Great. I am bingoing. So, what is the best to play? I've got inlaces in column 14 as well. So, inlaces, scalini, possibly a third anagram there. Sanical. But sanical takes an S. Great, this gets doubled, so I think this is a fairly easy decision. Scalini doesn't take anything after it, whereas sanical does. Yeah, so Scalini for 76. Great, I draw the final blank, which reduces my opponent's likelihood of bingoing, but remaining tiles quite bingo-y. Opponent could have tweaking in row A. But look at the rest of the board, no other bingo lanes, so it may be that I can simply take out row A if my opponent doesn't bingo there first. If he doesn't have a bingo, he may well be looking to open a new bingo lane elsewhere, perhaps by playing across from the sea. And I'm not home and dry. If my opponent bingos, it's anybody's game. I don't think I've got a bingo with this rack. And I'm not sure how I would take out row A. The best I can see is VEG, but that's pretty lame. But it would certainly kill the lane. Five vowels, 13 tiles unseen. Just wondering if I've got an 8 through the right floater, in case my opponent provides a new one. I think it would need to be a vowel. Not seeing anything. With only one vowel, your candidate moves are somewhat limited. And there aren't a huge number of vowels available on this board. I'm wondering about playing in column 9. So I've got jag, but I think that's all I can play without using my blank. This rack isn't quite good enough. Okay, nice play by my opponent. He has opened up a new bingo lane, and a good one. 4 tiles in the bag. So, do I burn my blank? My blank would need to be a Y, an A, I, or O. Can't see anything good. So, what I'm thinking of is playing is Ged. 13 points, leaving 1 in the bag. That would take me to 400 and something. 402. So I'd have a lead of only 64 points with this rack. Maybe that's not worth doing because these bingo lanes are of pretty much equal value, and my opponent has probably got an ING ending with 2 I's and 2 N's out there. Maybe I should be looking to outscore my opponent, but certainly leaving 1 in the bag. So how best to do that? I'm still looking again at the idea of burning my blank. But that's a good play from my opponent. Just can't see anything worth playing in that spot. And neither of these bingo lanes creates new bingo lanes. And I'm just struggling to see anywhere to get rid of V and D or V and G. I'd certainly like to hang on to my vowel if I can. 3 minutes on my clock. So where are the vowels on this board? I could play egad, but that takes an S. So that's too generous. I've got vig and vid, but they have the same problem. They take too many hooks. It's just making life too easy for my opponent. What about playing ged? Then I'm retaining the N for an ing word. This is quite a balanced 5-letter set. It's only 12 points. And I'll regret it if my opponent has a bingo in column 15, but not row A. But I'm going with this. Am I? Is there really nowhere better? Nope, I'm going with this. Not great. And opponent's rack looking increasingly good. Yeah, the vowel's eluding me at the end there. Great, lovely play by my opponent, 97 points. He now leads by 34 points. He's got G and W. Does he have 2 spots? He's got wig. Does he have a second out? Possibly not. Only 1 minute on my clock, so I'm going to assume this is his only out and block it. So I'm going to play Vin. And that should set up something in column 15. Yeah, it sets up ident. And I don't think that can be blocked, but can my opponent go out somewhere else? He's got 11 minutes to find an out. And we'll... Okay, 17 points for my opponent, so let's see what ident scores. I've got a 1 minute. I don't think I can score more than this. It's 28 points. That's not going to be enough. So, the final score, 439 to me, 452 to my opponent, a winning margin of 13 points. So, well done to my opponent. Let's see what I missed. So it was me to go first. Great, no missed bingo here. Mild is being recommended, but I think mild is fine. And look at this, opponent's got a great rack. And he's got a ton of bingos. And he plays Yar. My rack, I have Rousers, and that is the only bingo, playable in 2 spots. Opponent does then bingo, and it's a good one. My rack, I play Frap. And at this point I have a small lead, which vanishes as my opponent plays Wox. Now, this was a tricky rack. Iatric, yeah, just 1 more tile than Arctic, but a better play. But Arctic looks fine as well. Opponent's rack. Nice spot of Fado for 42 points. And my opponent now has got a 30-point lead. I play Levia. That looks fine. But the other plays there also look fine because they're only a few fewer... they score only a few fewer points, but their rack leaves are better. So there's not a huge difference there. Opponent's rack plays Untame. Now I have this horror show. Europod, that looks quite nice. C10. Yeah, down column 10 for 29 points. So instead I do Poco for 16, which is a lot less. So C7. Ah, look at this. Polo and Pox. Yep, that's all good. But keeping 3 vowels isn't. And then you're down, with a decent rack leave, you're down to just 16 points. I think Europod was the play, and then Poco not too shabby, but not particularly great either. Opponent plays I, and I then have Joe for 41, which I still like. Opponent plays Gu, and I play Qua here. I had Quat, but that doesn't take the A front hook, it takes an S, which I don't have, so I prefer Qua, and I still like that. Opponent plays Zo. Ooh, agony. A bingo through the G, longboat. Wow. That would have been really good, and look at that. Bloat sitting there in second place, a long way behind. Longboat was the play. Well done if you spotted that. Opponent's rack. He plays high. Now, my rack. No missed bingo. I play ON. I still like that. A really good rack leave. Opponent has Betane, E14 and Ob. And now I have a choice of bingos. G13. Okay, Inlaces and Uni. Instead I did Scaleni for the same score. I don't think there's very much between those. Opponent plays KI, and this is the position we were in. I was ahead by about 60 points. There are 2 bingo lanes on the board. Remaining tiles really bingo-y. What do? I left both bingo lanes open. Was that the right thing to do? Well, interesting. Veg for 27. I like that. Although with the knowledge that actually in the bag is G and W, it probably wouldn't have saved me. But maybe it would. 27 points is a lot more than the 12 I got. It's 15 more points, and I think I lost by 13. So maybe Veg could have been the play. Anyway, great spot by my opponent of Isotine. And look at that. It was the only bingo. So if I'd gone with my original plan of playing at the top here, Ged, opponent would not have had a bingo. And finally my rack. And not a huge amount on offer there. And I still like Van, I think. Or, I mean, this only scores 6 and Ident 28. So I'm only looking at 34 points in total. If Vid gets 24, well, I'm still not going to get a ton with the remaining tiles. Whoops, let me see if my opponent has an out. He doesn't. Jaw was best. And finally, Ident was the top outplay. So, very exciting game. Well done once again to my opponent. From my perspective, the game really hinged on that dreadful rack at the end where I had the blank, 2 Ds, a G and a V. And I had the option of shutting out one of the bingo lanes. I didn't take that option. Maybe I should have done. What do you think? You can leave comments below if you think that was a dreadful howler, or if you think there was a best play for that move. Anyway, exciting stuff. I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.